Lied about, this is our home. Over 500,000 of us live here. Negroes, Puerto Ricans, colored from all over the world. And in our midst, the cops everywhere, mounted and on foot like an army of occupation in the midst of our city, like conquerors or troops of empire in a colony. Why? Why are there more here than anywhere in New York, than anywhere in America? Why? They are here to protect not life, not liberty, not the pursuit of happiness. No, they are here to protect a $6 billion investment in bad housing, in slums. $6 billion invested by banks in a Jim Crow ghetto. They are here to prevent us from protesting, to intimidate us when we try to do something about these shambles that pass for homes, to shut us up when we speak out that the Warnack triplets, Monica, Roberta, Valerie, have a right to live in something better than one room with 7 others, 10 people in one crowded apartment, with the welfare allotment discontinued. Jim Crow, won't die no more, for Jim Crow, the cops want to force us meekly to accept 5 in a bed, 10 in a room, a TB rate 7 times that of whites. More Negro infants die than live the first year of life. To keep us silent, their cops strut. Rents $15 for a kitchenette. 3 sunless rooms at $60. Built 75, 100 years ago, these houses were paid off by us, principal and interest, long ago. A banker's gravy train, 6% guaranteed. If 100 died by fire last year, that doesn't matter. It's the 6% to the banks that matters. And when they build new homes, banks, the Rockefellers in their metropolitan life, to make sure it will not disturb the sacred 6%, the sacred $6 billion invested in Jim Crow slums, they keep us out. This is their studied This is one reason why all the cops in Harlem. And there are other reasons, too. They try to make us swallow other things. Ungraded meat sold at prices higher than grade A meat downtown. The cast-off food, the rotten food, unsellable elsewhere is dumped for us. A 75-cent meal downtown is 95 cents uptown. To keep us quiet about this robbery, their boys in blue tell us, don't stand here, break it up, move along. We are the reservoir of cheap labor. They keep us unemployed to drive wages down. Last to be hired, first to be fired. Menial jobs only, porter, domestic work, stevedores to unload asphalt. In the 30s, they forced us onto the long bread lines. Now they force us onto relief, give us checks and starve us. A relief check will buy you 70% of the food you need to live on, and always 2% to cash it. The banks and their boys in blue. It's not safe for you here, ma'am. They try to make the world believe that lie. And you will find them here, too, among the Puerto Rican people in Harlem. Their cars parked on each corner, trying to intimidate us. For Harlem is from Puerto Rico, Jamaica, from Latin America. And because we have found oppression here as well, we fight back. We march. Negro and white, Puerto Rican American and Negro American united. Don't buy in this store. It's anti-Negro, anti-Puerto Rican. United, we have won many battles. Negro drivers on 5th Avenue buses. Negroes and Puerto Ricans hired on 125th Street. So they try to break our unity. The cops watch our picket lines and ride their horses specially trained for anti-picket duty. But they do more than stand and twirl their clubs and ride.
Was in the neighborhood of 122nd Street and Lexington Avenue. He had apparently been robbed. He was running away from his attackers and ran into a delicatessen store on 122nd Street in Lexington. He had no shoes on, his hat had been lost, and other articles of clothing had been removed. Two cops drove by in a squad car, and they saw Mr. Barber running into the store. Without asking any questions whatsoever, they jumped out of their squad car, opened fire on Mr. Barber with a volley of 15 shots, 6 of which hit him and killed him instantly in the store. Mrs. Stroud, Mr. Barber was your nephew. Would you tell us how you feel about this brutal killing?
Well, he was a hard-working boy. He sent money down south to his family to support his mother. So I hope something be did about it, because your other young boys coming up like my nephew, so they won't have the same thing happen to them.
The widow and children of Richard T. Brown, murdered by a cop.
My name is Joseph Ogby. On July the 20th at 6:30 p.m., I was sitting on an ice door. And this ice man said to me, he said, "You can't sit there. You have to move." So I didn't move fast enough, so he pushed me. So I said, "Don't push me, fella." And he stuck me with an ice pick. Then me and him got into a fight, and I knocked him out. And I was standing on the curb, and a cop came up and hit me.
My name is Joe Jackson. I saw the whole thing. The cop came up in his car, jumped out, ran across, struck Joe across the head without knowing what it was all about. The blood came gushing out. The people demanded that the cop shouldn't hit Joe again.
I'm Joe's wife. I was there when the cop hit him in the head, and I yelled for him not to hit him again. Otherwise, he would have.
Police brutality is part of the plan of the banks, the government, and big business. Like the Nazis, they want to create a master race to prove Negroes are inferior. This is why they beat us, lynch us Northern style, and go unpunished. And we know who stand behind the cops. The bankers. $6 billion invested in a Jim Crow ghetto. The profiteers, the gravy boys. A 75-cent meal downtown costs 95 cents uptown. The Jim Crow landlords. They too are behind the cops. Protect the sacred 6% for metropolitan life, whites only. The Jim Crow boss who hates all labor and tries to break our unity. And the Klan in New York. Pregnant women beaten, children maimed, because we're Negro. Behind the cops, the politicians and their stooges, like Earl Brown, who have sold out themselves and their people for a price. Banker, lyncher, profiteer, Klansman, cop, united against the people. But we don't just take it. We're hard-working people who love life, love a ball game, love kids. We're people who love laughter and hate oppression. We've fought them before, the bankers and their cops, and won. And we fight them